Dark Templar.
Do you feel that, Cerebrate? The Protoss are here, on Char. They have been for some time, hiding. Protoss Commander, it was folly of you to come here, for I am Kerrigan, and I am Queen of the Zerg.
I know of you well, O Queen of the Zerg, for we have met before. I am Tassadar of the Templar. I remember your selfless exploits, defending humanity from the Zerg. Unfortunate it is to see that one who was once so honorable and full of life would succumb to the twisted wiles of the Overmind.
Do not presume to judge me, Templar. You'll find my powers to be more than a match for yours. In fact, I sense that your vaunted power has diminished since last we met.
Mayhap, O Queen. Or is it only that I need not flaunt my power in such an infantile test of will?
Foolish Templar. Prepare your defenses. I will come for you soon.
Oh man, we're picking a fight with the Protoss. This bitch is crazy.
Kerrigan, I sense something strange about this Templar. Perhaps you should reconsider your attack.
For the last time, Zaz, you question my motives and authority at your own peril.
You dare threaten a Cerebrate? You'll be the doom of us all.
Yep, here we are. This is our, what is it, our second fight against the Protoss, I think, if I remember. I don't know, it's been a blur. But yeah, this is going to be the first mission where we get access to level 3 stuff. By level 3, I mean Hive tech. Not much. They still have a couple of stuff locked behind progression. Like, we don't have access to Ultralisk or Defilers, and I don't remember what else was there. But hey, our Zerglings now have that super fast attack upgrade that we saw in the last mission. We're not going to use it in this mission. We're going to use these guys. We're going to use aerial siege tanks. Aerial organic siege tanks. But first, we got to get our production going. Normally, I'd say expand to a different area with minerals, but here, because mineral patch is a little weird, I always used to do this. I don't know if it's right or not, but it seemed to help. It looks like it was helping to me, so I place a hatchery there to get those minerals from the back, and the drones don't have to travel as much. The geyser, that's fine. That one can stay there. We just need to put in more drones so we're not waiting a whole lot for gas. And that whole mission we did before about unlocking her true powers and all that, all we got was the ability to use Psystorm with Kerrigan. Or Psionic Storm for the full name. It kind of makes sense you'd be able to use it here, because the next chapter we're playing is Protoss, and High Templars have that ability, so might as well get in some practice with it. Yeah, don't mind the volume thing. As you can see, we need to reinforce the entrances, because we're going to be getting hit with Zealots, Dragoons, sometimes Scouts, and Reavers. Reavers are the ones we don't want it to get close. But yeah, once you keep building your base up, you can do this with Scourge, because they're kind of cheap. It's another cheap labor unit. And just scout the map. As you saw on the left, we saw where there was another expansion, but it's guarded by a bunch of Protoss units. And on the right, I don't know if that's an expansion. You can't put up, I don't think you can put a hatchery down in that area. But there's minerals and there's Protoss to kill, so you don't have to kill all the Protoss on the map. I think you only have to kill their bases, but that essentially means all of the Protoss. And yeah, here we go. This is one of the big attacks. Since we're so light on units, you kind of want to let the sunken colonies do most of the work and back them up. Yeah, see? We held it off. Easy peasy. We also got our spire up, and we got an evolution chamber. Not so much for ground upgrades, but just for the ability to use to evolve a creep colony into a spore colony. We need that anti-air defense, as you can see. And here I'm mutating into a hive, so for two things. One, so we can start building guardians, and two, so we can get level 3 upgrades. I'm also mutating the lair, or the hatchery, into a lair, so that way both of them can start researching speed and transport for overlords, because we're gonna want to expand, and most of the areas we want to go to, we need our own little organic dropship, so might as well get that going right away. You might be thinking, why are you expanding? Don't you have enough resources here? It's like, well, we have minerals, but we're sort of light on gas. I guess we could do a ground strategy, but as I said, there's zealots and reavers in this mission. Actually, from now on, when we face the Protoss, there will be reavers, and those blow up the Zerg really quick. You spend like what, say 300 minerals on Zerglings. One little bomb explosion, if placed correctly, just blows that all up. 25 minerals blows up 300 minerals, or 200, whatever I said. Yeah, here we wanna keep going defenses, and now that we're safe, we're gonna keep scouting with these scourge. Yeah, I said it right. As you can see, right here in the corner, there's no Protoss. Which is nothing but volcanic terrain. It's actually pretty cool terrain. And this one, we don't care. We're just going to send it straight down the middle. So here we see, boom, more Dragoons. Let's see what we get in the middle. We got Scout, so might as well damage that one. He didn't win. Yeah, now that we have a hive tech, we're going to upgrade our Spire into a greater Spire. So we can start mutating some of these Mutalisks into Guardians. And Overlords have speed and dropship capabilities, so we're going to want to expand right away. It took me, what, 11 minutes, but whatever. It's not like we're being rushed hard. Yeah, so here you go. Drop the three drones. Build your extractor and hatchery. And then this drone could just sit there while everything's finished. Or sit in the Overlord. One of the two. And once it's all done, you want to reinforce this area. So aside from getting your additional drones to start mining the gas to speed up your process, you want to place mostly sunken colonies and a few anti-air defenses. The reason you want to go with more sunken colonies is because you're more prone to a drop than you are a full aerial attack. If they start attacking with nothing but scouts, like the scouts' ground attack sucks. So you have time to respond, especially if we're doing a Mutalisk Guardian army. The Mutalisk can just fly there as soon as possible. Or as quickly as possible, sorry, and reinforce your base. Whereas with a ground attack, that might, while they can get there quick, they're gonna do a lot of damage before you get there, even with the sunken colonies. So yeah, you might as well be safe and place. Here I placed 4 sunkens and 2 spore colonies. I didn't really need them in the end game, spoilers. But yeah, and now we have a full squad of Mutalisk and a full squad of Guardians. That's all you really need. So we're gonna move out on the attack. This is one of the expansions we could have gone to, and most of those units can't do anything. Only the Dragoon could hit us, and even then. And yeah, by this point I've been upgrading constantly. When you expand to that base on the right, you'll get more than enough minerals and gas to do this. So at this point I'm +2 weapons and no armor. But you're hitting from so far away, by the time they get to you, they're dead. So I just started focusing on the weapons. If you feel a little anxious, you could start doing one at a time, so +1 weapons, +1 armor. But I think you'll be fine. And here's where we go to kill all these units. Normally I would be like, we're Zerg, we're stupid. Just A, move in. You could, but then you're gonna lose a lot of guardians. So here you just bait some out and then start killing them. Obviously the zealots don't matter, but don't move out just in case, because it might fuck up with your targeting system. Well, targeting. With your organic targeting system. And yeah, see, if we kept going forward, the photon cannon would have fired on us. And see what I mean? You don't really need to worry about scouts, so we want to take out this Reaver quickly, because look how much damage it did to 3 of the colonies, as opposed to these 2 scouts that were doing nothing. And yeah, at this point you want to bring in your Mutalisks to start soaking up some of the damage, otherwise your Guardians are gonna die very quickly and you're gonna be very sad. Because that's your main source of attack in this mission. The Mutalisks are just there for backup. Against scouts or drawing the firepower of something, so that way they start walking towards it, and the Guardians are just like, hey, I see you there. How about you turn into a blue puddle? I hope this isn't twisted, but I thought the Dragoon's death animation was the coolest thing ever, because it was this robot filled with whatever Protoss fluids that help keep the pilot alive, and then when it died, it just like splattered. It's like Splatoon before Splatoon. Yeah, that whole area cleared. Now we start going for the main base. And there's still quite a bit of units lurking around. They're making their way towards us. I can feel it, as you can see. Now Mutalisks being dumb, they were all like, oh, I'll just go stand over there and try and shoot them. Don't do that. Don't go searching for units. Let them come to you and your Guardians. As you can see, the Guardians turn around and it's like, hey, stop it. Same with these scouts. Don't go searching for them. Let them come to you, and then sick those Mutalisks on them. I built 3 Mutalisks back home just in case I needed them. And here we're gonna lose. We already lost 2 Mutalisks, and we're gonna lose 1 more right here. And guess what? We're back up to full strength because we got the 3 back at home. Although I think I turned 2 of them into. I think I'm gonna turn 2 of them into Guardians. So with weapons done, I can now start on the armor. But at this point, we kind of already won. So there's no point. But we got all these resources, so why not? You don't really have to macro as much at this point. Because yeah, once you take out all the probes on this Nexus, then I'm sure the computer has limitless resources, but they can't do much. They can't build additional buildings, they can't, and since Protoss have a build queue, they can only pump out 1 unit at a time. But it doesn't seem like they're doing that. Or maybe they were, I don't know. I think the only thing that bothered me in the original StarCraft was almost every building you could tell that it was building something. But the gateway, you don't know if the guy was building anything or it was just sitting there. It wasn't until StarCraft 2 where it would get an animation of it building. Although by then it would turn into a warp gate. But even then it still had an animation of you warping something in. Because there's no benefit in keeping it as a normal gateway in that game. You would think it's like, oh, well, maybe it's a little faster, or I don't know, some other random benefit. Nope. warp gates for days. And yeah, this is the final area we have to clear. This is what's pumping out all those Reavers. If we went to a ground army, this would have been a really tough spot to take. And yeah, after we're done with this, something happened in this mission. It was a little random. After I cleared all these buildings and like one pylon I missed at the bottom, for some reason the mission would not trigger the end game event. I'm not sure if it has something to do with like whatever attacked me here or something, but yeah, I'm just gonna skip to where it triggers.
Where are you, Tassadar? Do your underlings always do your fighting for you?
This shall be our battleground, O Queen. Face me here, and I will defeat you myself.
Oh man, all this Protoss thuggery.
Yes.
Tassadar is just like, alright, come at me, bitch. So of course, we gotta go face him. By this point, I'm just messing around and throwing away money because we're done. We're gonna gather all our units around the circle for this match of the Millennium 2001. And this fight is still gonna be a hell of a lot better than anything Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite has, which is sad.
Illusion, are you afraid to face me, Templar?
So long as you continue to be so predictable, O Queen, I need not face you at all. You are your own worst enemy.
Ah, she got baited. It was all diversion. Yeah, this mission was this is time consuming. Mainly because of, once again, how you start and all the resources you did. I mean, I guess you could go a ground army and make it quick, but I don't know.